So have you racked up a few too many inquiries? Well, that's all right. It happens to the best of us. Now, perhaps you didn't even know which credit-related activity would attract an inquiry. Now, whatever the reason is, what matters now is how you're going to get rid of them. And I'm here to help. In this video, we're going to go through the best ways to remove inquiries from your credit report. So if you're ready to take control of your credit, keep watching. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy from Credit Sage, your favorite credit experts. With over 3,000 reviews and a 4.9 out of 5 Trustpilot rating, we're a surefire path to achieving your credit goals. Now today, I have some fantastic tips you can bet will up your credit game. So you may be wondering, what are inquiries? Now here's a brief rundown. Inquiries are basically records that indicate when someone, like a lender or a creditor, has requested to view your credit report. They're like a trail that shows who has looked at your report and why. Now there are two types of inquiries, hard and soft inquiries. Now every time you apply for credit, the lender or creditor will usually check your credit report to determine your credit worthiness. Now, when they do this, it's considered a hard inquiry. Now, these inquiries can potentially hurt your credit score and stick around on your credit report for a year. Now, on the other hand, soft inquiries are usually made by you or your employer or a company that wants to offer you a pre-approved credit card, things like that. These types of inquiries don't affect your credit score and don't show up on your report. You're going to want to keep an eye out for potential hard inquiries. Now, why does this matter? Now, as I mentioned earlier, hard inquiries in particular can drop your credit score by a few points. Now, these inquiries can remain on your report for up to 2 years sometimes. Now, fortunately, however, they only affect your credit score for like a year. Now, however, you do need to know that if you have too many inquiries in a short amount of time, lenders may view you as a high-risk borrower, which can make it harder to get approved for a credit. Now, I'll explain better. So your credit score won't take a huge hit from a single inquiry, and most lenders won't reject your application just because of a few on your report. Now, credit scoring models generally consider the fact that people may apply for credit from time to time, which means they won't randomly penalize you for doing so. With hard inquiries, it's more about the bigger picture. As I mentioned, too many inquiries in a short time might give lenders the impression that you're desperate for credit and that could make them think twice about lending you money. Now also, you've already got a few negative marks on your report like late payments or defaults. Then adding a hard inquiry on top of that could make things even tougher for you. The impact of a single hard inquiry on your credit score is usually around 5 points, but the total impact depends on several factors. The first factor, as you already know, the number of inquiries on your credit report. So to make it simpler to understand, here's a possible scenario. Let's imagine you applied for a mortgage pre-approval at one lender, a car loan at another, and a credit card at a third one. And all of these happen within a month. Now, each of those inquiries will count against you and considerably damage your score overall. Now, the second factor you have to consider is the age of the inquiry. So recent inquiries are more damaging than older ones, but the impact decreases over time. Inquiries typically stay on your credit report for 2 years, but they only affect your score for the first 12 months. So the longer it's on there, the less impact it has. The third factor is the type of credit you're applying for. Inquiries for mortgage or auto loans are usually treated as a single inquiry if they occur within a certain time frame, typically 14 to 45 days. And finally, your overall credit history and credit score also plays a role in determining the impact of a hard inquiry. A short credit history or a low credit score could result in a greater negative impact on your score than if you have a long credit history and a high score. By now, you know credit applications are a surefire way to attract a check on your credit report. However, there are other reasons why they might show up. To start with, identity theft. That's right. This can lead to hard inquiries being added to your credit report. It's not a very complicated thing. If someone has stolen your personal information and is using it to apply for a credit, it will show up as a hard inquiry on your credit report. Now, mistakes made by lenders can also result in hard inquiries appearing on your credit report. For example, If a lender accidentally makes a hard inquiry instead of a soft inquiry, or makes a hard inquiry on the wrong person due to a clerical error or mistaken identity, it will affect your credit score. So let's talk about how to get rid of them. Removing a hard inquiry from your credit report can be challenging, but it's not impossible. The process of removing a hard inquiry is called a credit inquiry removal, and it involves contacting the credit bureaus and disputing the inquiry. However, it is a case-by-case situation. Now, hard inquiries are usually a result of your own actions, so it's not always feasible to have them removed. In cases where the hard inquiries are legitimate, well, it may be best to just accept that they stay on your report for a while. But if it is a result of identity theft or an error, Credit Sage can handle it for you. Now, of course, we're not your only option, but getting rid of hard inquiries can be a very, very tedious process. And if you're not familiar with it, why not just skip the stress and simply reach out to Credit Sage instead? Our team of experts deal with credit issues like this every day, so they know exactly what to look for. By trusting us with this task, you can save yourself the hassle of trying to figure it out on your own, as well as minimize the risk of making a costly mistake. We have years of experience. We can efficiently and effectively get the job done for you. So don't wait any longer. Give us a call today using the number that I'll throw in the description below. Now, if you do prefer to go about the process yourself, here's the breakdown of what you'll need to do. First, you need to obtain free copies of your credit report, and you can order free copies of your credit report once a year from each bureau. Simply visit annualcreditreport.com. What you want to do is check all 3 reports carefully for signs of identity theft, such as accounts you don't recognize or credit inquiries that you didn't initiate, and flag any inaccurate hard inquiries. Check the hard inquiry section of your credit report and verify any unfamiliar activity to ensure that it's not fraud. If you see a hard inquiry that you don't recognize or one that you believe is inaccurate, flag it for further investigation. Next, you want to contact the original lender. If you recognize the hard inquiry but believe it was made in error, you might be able to avoid a formal dispute by making a direct contact with the furnisher, such as the credit card issuer or the car dealership, whatever the case is. And you want to explain that you believe there's an error on your credit report and request that they remove the inquiry. If your efforts to resolve the matter yourself do not succeed, then you'll need to file a formal dispute with the credit bureau that lists the hard inquiry. So you can submit your dispute online, by mail, or by phone. Now, if you submit your dispute online, I encourage you to print out a copy of your dispute for your records. Now, when you write your dispute letter, make sure to include all the necessary details, such as the dates of the disputed information, the company that provided the information, and the credit bureau that recorded the disputed hard inquiries. You want to provide as much documentation as possible to support your claim. These documents could be receipts, invoices, correspondence with the lenders, anything you have. Once you've gathered all the necessary information and have written out your dispute letter, submit it to the appropriate credit bureau. Now, the bureau has 30 to 45 days to investigate your dispute and respond to you with its findings. The credit reporting agencies must resolve the matter within the 30 to 45 day range. If the bureau can't verify the inquiry, they will likely remove it from your credit report. Now, if the bureau finds that the inquiry is accurate and belongs to you, well, of course, it will remain on your credit report. Now, it's important to note that disputing a hard inquiry doesn't guarantee that it will be removed from your credit report. However, it's still worth taking the time to do so, especially if you suspect that the inquiry was made without your permission or was inaccurate. So keeping a close eye on your credit report and disputing any errors or unauthorized inquiries can help you maintain a healthy credit score and protect yourself against identity theft and fraud. Now, if you're sitting there listening to all this and still feeling overwhelmed, I want you to remember that Credit Sage has always got your back. We offer a super convenient phone consultation that only takes a few minutes to go through. And once you sign up with us, it's up to us to chase down creditors and bureaus and take care of it for you and relieve the stress of having to worry about it yourself. So keep that in mind. If you found this video helpful, please show your support by hitting the like and subscribe button to our channel for new videos each and every week. Thanks for watching.